Bring in special report anchor Bret Baier. Bret, good to have you with us. We were going to talk politics, but obviously there is no story that is more important than what's going on right now in Ukraine. You know, your thoughts on Kyiv as we watch the movement here and we see these two airfields to the east that were attacked earlier, perhaps in answer to the idea that MiG-29s could come in and land there. What's your assessment and what you're hearing of where we stand right now?
Oh, good afternoon. I tell you, it's tough to watch some of those images from Ben Hall's piece on the ground, and some of those children obviously being affected by this war directly. There is a sense that Russia is losing. Senator Warner from the Senate Intel Committee, the chair on last night with Special Report, and I heard that privately, that they believe that Russia is, up until this point, losing, which is pretty remarkable if you think about it, of Ukraine's defense, the resilience, the resolve, and they're doing it with a lot of weapons that are coming from NATO countries, including the U.S., but they need more, and more are coming in. The question is how fast, and it's a race against the clock. You're seeing Russia move. That convoy finally dispersed and kind of went to different positions, and they're at least projecting that this encirclement of Kyiv is happening. The question really is, it's not the MiGs. I think it's more about the other weapons and how fast they can get there and if they get cut off by Russians.
Yeah, and there are thousands of javelins, thousands of stingers, which have been really assessed as the most effective weapon so far. And if it's true that Russia's losing, I think we'll probably say that those weapons were one of the major reasons. And of course, the biggest reason of all, the resolve of the Ukrainian people and the fact that they have turned out to be a fighting force that Putin appears to have miscalculated in a very big way. How do you think President Biden is doing in terms of, this obviously sort of in a crass way, there's an opportunity for leadership here, right? For a president who has had declining poll numbers. What sense are we getting in terms of whether or not it's having any impact on how people view President Biden?
There's only a couple of gold standard polls that we look at that have gone after the invasion of Ukraine, but they have seen a bump for President Biden, and that happens with any world crisis that the U.S. is at least tangentially involved in or around. There is a rally around leaders. So 3-4 points. He was hovering around 39-40% approval. Now it's up a bit from that. It's still low, and really when you talk about politics, in the big picture, it's how you feel at home. Part of this is feeling safe, worried about a nuclear threat, and safety starts to factor in. But by the time we get to November, you wonder how this is all going to impact that. Foreign policy usually doesn't translate too much in midterms. It may this time. We'll see where we are. But it's more about the price of gas and what it means to your pocketbook, how your family is dealing.
You know, it's remarkable, Bret. I look back at the 2020 presidential election and the coverage that we did of the debates and all of that. There wasn't even any foreign policy debate. And so it strikes me that as president, you get the presidency that is thrust upon you and the events in the world and the country that are thrust upon you. You don't get to choose. And President Biden was supposed to be this foreign policy specialist. Certainly he had a deep background in it, but now he's really being tested.
He is being tested. I mean, that goes back presidencies. I mean, the Bush administration, Don Rumsfeld's nomination and confirmation hearing never mentioned the word Afghanistan. And I think that there's a lot of things that happen on a foreign policy stage that may change the dynamic as we look forward about how Russia factors in, how China factors in, which is really the big elephant in the room, that we haven't gone down that road, what the relationship is between China and Russia, and what China is doing directly now to support Russia. I'm going to have Senator Sullivan on the show tonight, and his specialty is that kind of look, but it's a bipartisan concern up on Capitol Hill.
Yeah, absolutely. How is China viewing all this, and is that the next chapter in this story? We'll look forward to that tonight on Special Report. Bret, as always, thank you very much. Good to see you.
See ya.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.